Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more Sins 2 action. We continue our coverage of this best of 3 series in game number 2, coverage of the 4 power 2 balance tournament. Ongoing into round 4 action here. I am Karaslegacy, your host today, as we push onto Transtav, a map we have not seen too often in the last few rounds, so it's good to see this map kind of coming back in the pool. Our epic grudge match continues in round 2 here. Starting off on the top side, we do have Kiss returning as the red Advent for Team Suneaters, but we do have a substitution now. We have Ace Faxon coming on to the team roster here for this game. They will face, once again, Team Loong, represented by Lee as the white Advent, and Triple C as the teal TEC. Now, game number 1 was kind of decided by a lot of siege play. We saw some excellent back and forth action using Siegecraft to kind of pull off the various opponents. Now, one interesting thing about Transtav is, while we may see kind of a split into the middle, the two allies are able to kind of close in on each other, and therefore may be able to we may see a lot more 2-on-2 action rather than the kind of 1-on-1 individual lanes that we saw in the first map. The other thing about Transtav is this tends to be a longer and a slower rush distance map, so greedy play tends to get promoted here. We should see some more economic build-up on our players today, and therefore we'll see some higher techs, bigger fleets, and potentially late game fleets. Will we see a Titan today? It has been a while since we saw a Titan in this tournament. Is today the day? I guess we'll see. Looking at our starts here, we have Kiss up top, and yes, Kiss is starting off with a Harmony Tier 2 to push. Makes plenty of sense. Also opening up with Divination to get those the surveys online pretty quickly. Kiss has opted for the Halcyon, which has become more of his favorite capital, again for fast clearing, fast expansion. It's an excellent economic ship, and with the amount of planets here to be able to carve through before he meets his opponent, makes perfect sense for an opener here. On the factions, we do have Pirates already revealed, and we'll see if Pirates are the name of the game today. We do have the Vitrak as well, and we do have the Pranos faction, so we'll see a little bit more defense potentially than we saw in the first game. On Ace's side, Ace is opted to the Aachen. Again, makes sense for more greedy focused play. We do already see trade research online, and we do see the first trade coming out now. So first trade is already online. Ace is moving towards additional trade. So this map does tend to help TEC players quite a bit who like to greed, to eco. The TEC trade often takes kind of a while to really kick in, but this map often offers the time to kind of build up that trade network and really start seeing the power of TEC mid-game eco can open up if the opponents are not able to pressure them fast enough. Otherwise, one thing, okay, we are seeing the influence tech just a little bit slow, but with trade he had to deal with. Makes sense that he had a little bit of work to do before he could get his influence online. I'll go to the south side, looking at our long players here. All right, Lee has also opted for Harmony 2. Again, makes perfect sense, trying to get those eco techs, like the Crystal Enrichment here, online. We have a Rapture opener. Now this will be an interesting capital matchup. On the one hand, the Halcyon is going to be a much faster clear, but the Rapture does tend to scale to that level 6 Malice, which we have seen do some excellent work in this tournament. That said, some of the players are starting to say that the Rapture's Malice isn't what it used to be, that some of the other capitals are starting to take over. So this could be a matchup where we get to see Halcyon versus Rapture and see how that plays out. Now, I just want to note here, we do have an auction for the looting crew. And I'll be very curious to see if anybody grabs this. This was changed in the recent patch. Looting Crew used to be an item you could take from the pirates initially. Oh. Looks like somebody got their hands on that crew, and I'm actually very curious to see who won that. Okay. It's suggesting that no one's won this, but the way it says, I thought somebody won that auction, so we'll have to take a look here in a moment. But yeah, for those who remember or have tried to forget, the Looting Crew was a very, very powerful capital ship item. I feel comfortable saying it was broken very badly. It was one of the strongest items in the game, completely changed the econ and meta of the game. And in the new patch, it is now both significantly weaker and also now an auction item. So I think an excellent change. It's definitely much more in line with the power base on its new version. So, but whether somebody actually got that or not, I'll be very curious to see if that's going on any of the capitals here to start out. All right, looks like all the players are just kind of opting for focus greed. We're seeing a lot of. Actually, let's take a look at Triple C has also got his auction opener. You have 2 trade already. Yeah, getting all that nice trade online. So we're going to speed things up just a touch here as the players start to move into the middle. Now, interesting note here. Okay, so we do see one difference here. Lee and so Team Loong is basically pushing into the north a bit quicker. We can see that the Suneaters are they're spending the time to kind of get a lot of their back planets here filled up. Meanwhile, Loong has left a good number of their middle planets exposed in favor of a faster push into the middle. So a difference in strategy here opening up, and we'll have to see which one pans out. Now, the biggest advantage here, yes, it looks like Lee is going right for the Terran world here. Huge advantage here if he's able to grab it. While Terrans are obviously best for TUC, they are great worlds for the Advent as well, and this Advent player would love to have one. Now, the Halcyon is a great creeper, but in these kind of battles, the Rapture does pretty good because its Dominate's able to take over these Harka here and is ultimately able to help him secure against some of these heavier ships. So Lee is doing good work, and none of his opponents are anywhere near him. I think he's going to get away with this Terran acquisition pretty much scot-free. Now, we do have a roadblock in the way for Triple C here. Triple C, his next big world, his next world on the path is now being pushed by pirates. So he may be forced to kind of focus here a bit, fortify this up before he can kind of move forward, and that may stall him out. And yeah, it looks like Triple C has opted, instead of continuing to push north, he has kind of pulled back. He is backfilling his worlds. It makes sense. Again, he doesn't want to spend too much time and effort on this pirate up here, because without a lot of defenses, the pirates will just take this world out. All right, Triple C is pushing on his culture and is now going into tier 3 tech, backed by the freebooters to get him some more fleet supply. Still very low supply, just hacking in his initial cobalt, so nothing to write home about there. His partner has got just his initial Rapture and stolen ships that he's able to grab. We do see the 2-2 now coming online, and the Terran world is now being focused up with, looks like, greater factories being pushed here. So possible capitals we may see outstanding shortly. Looking over at the Suneaters, Kiss is also gotten to his 2-2. We see Guardians coming online. Kiss has definitely got a much bigger commitment to his fleet, already at 3 capitals. And again, with his Guardians online, will have a better fleet if he's able to engage shortly. But there's still a bit of time and distance here, and by the time he is able to make that commitment, his opponents may have been able to fleet up at that point. Ace is up to 250. Akin with a coal, common secondary for the TEC. A lot of TECs, after they do their initial Akin, like to back it up with a coal. It's convenient both in exotics, and it's just a nice combo that works very well with the initial ship. We see a heavy cobalt commitment with some freebooters to back it up. We also do see, modular architecture has already been taken, and then we do see the tech into tier 3 starting to begin. So all of our players here are kind of circling around the same general ideas. They started out with greed. We're now seeing the shift into military. And then the question is, who is going to be the best prepared? As it looks like these worlds in the middle here are going to be the focus of aggression as we kick things off. All right, first blood and first battle here is going to go to Lee as Lee sends in his forces to start the fight. We'll go ahead and slow this back down. And we've got 2 capitals with a solid number of kobolds versus disciples and a rapture. This is not a battle that this Advent player wants to take. And yet Lee is going to be forced back pretty much immediately. We're already seeing Gauss defense online. Yeah, Ace has got this one solidly in the bag. Advent is going to be forced into a full retreat here. And the question is Ace going to push on this? I think he should. I think he's got all the momentum in the world. His defenses are coming online. They're not going to get pressured here. Oh, but okay, interesting play by Lee. Lee is going to take the siege craft that he has acquired through when he just done his creeping, and is going to start bombarding these initial worlds. This primordial does not have a lot of health yet, and if these guys go unchecked, they may be able to do some real damage here. And yeah, we do see the cobalts being pulled back. This amount of cobalt should be able to take these Krosevs, I think, without them doing too much damage to this primordial. Yeah, it looks like they're going to snipe them out in pretty short order here. But it does look like, at least for the moment, Ace has kind of held off his aggression here. Fortifying this main world. We do see, okay, Kiss is also kind of using this area here as a little bit of a staging area. We do see Kiss kind of pushing onto the right side now, digging in, occupying territory. So the question is Kiss going to try to use this as another forward staging area, or is he going to pull back and just kind of, enjoy it while he can? Now, this is a great asteroid. 3 civilian slots extra, 6 extra military. I don't know what Kiss might have had in mind, but I think you probably should try to fortify this. This is like the best. This is the best staging asteroid you can ask for. We do have another looting crew online, so. And it was Kiss who bagged the first looting crew. That is I'd say a big play for Kiss. Now, the problem is the Halcyon. I don't believe the Halcyon strike craft get the advantage of the looting crew. So ultimately, this is going to do a lot less than on a Radiance or even maybe a Rapture. But every credit helps, and it keeps him out of his enemy's hands. So he'll be happy to have it. Question is anybody going to dig in for the second one? All right, we do see Ace is pushed in deeper into his tier 3 tech. No pirates yet, no online. We see, looks like Ashinkos are coming online now. Only at 30% research. I think, where is this? Okay, so just the volcanic world. I think this is the time, if he's going this heavy into this many research techs, I think it's time to bump up some of that research level. All right. Lee is fortifying his Terran world here. He does have an unassailable fortress on it, the influence tier item from the Bernas faction. So this is an excellent item for these kind of forward staging areas. Not only does it give your planet a big boost in health without needing any defense levels, but sometimes more importantly, it gives you 10 extra military slots. So this allows you, without having to invest a huge amount into your defenses, to be able to mass up a number of turrets, healing items, whatever, or in this case, lesser factories, which are actually healing items for the Advent. All right, we do see, it looks like the Suneaters are positioning themselves for a potential push. Ace is at near 500 fleet supply, bringing now a Dunov into play. Still maintaining mostly Cobalts, smattering of his freebooters, and the Hushinkos are now coming online. Kiss also around 400 or so, bringing a second Rapture, now at 5 capitals. That seems to be a play Kiss has been liking in this tournament. And we do see some Guardians as well, so pretty solid fleet. Triple C is going to counter it with about 440 supply, just as couple capitals. Large investment in the pirate rogues, so yeah, I think, yes, we do see the pirate bay is now online. Just the one, though. So we just have the one from Triple C here, or do we see a second one? Okay, so yes, the 2 here are building up pirates. We do see at least some basic defenses here, and I think this is a nice little spot for Triple C. I actually don't agree with attacking here. I think this might be a mistake for him. I think this might be a mistake. He's got a nice momentum swing here potentially with his pirates. I think he probably, and now he is at fleet supply, but I wonder if he could have waited just a bit and maybe pump this up a bit more. That said, Kiss does not have a huge force here, but he does have the Plasma Nova. Plasma Nova has activated. That's gonna spread to a lot of these ships. Kiss has just got a way stronger fleet supply here. He also does have Shield Blessing. Not going to be a huge factor in this fight, but his Strike Craft are never dying. And yeah, Triple C is forced to kind of walk away there with a bit of a bloody nose. But yeah, I think for the moment, time is on Triple C's side. These pirates can balloon his fleet supply very quickly once that next round of cooldown kicks in. He's going to have the advantage of TC healing in this middle area. And this is just a really nice fortified staging area for him. So yeah, okay. Kiss is sending in his... Oh, he's sending in 1 capital. This might be a mistake from Kiss. Don't know if he intended this as a scout or if this was just a complete mistake. But he is definitely going to overstay his welcome really fast here. Yep, Kiss realizes the mistake and is pulling back out. If he's able to get out of here pretty quickly, yeah, it looks like he's just going to take some damage on the shields. So, little bit of armor damage. Okay, but just kind of clipping the paint, nothing too nasty there. So, at the end of the day, the game starts to kind of calm down a bit. Let's go back to normal speed. And kind of let's take an assessment of where we're at. All right, Triple C is actually working on a starbase. It looks like he is going to dig in deep and fortify that position. Oh, very interesting. We don't see this tech very often. Sword intel. So this allows him to get vision when the pirates actually start to do their raids around. So a nice little bit of free vision here. That might help him scout out some of these kind of middle ground areas. Otherwise, looks like just continuing his investment probably in pirates. Yeah, looks like his pirates are almost off cooldown here. We see his defenses picking back up here. And yeah, this is looking like a very nice little pocket here. Okay, let's see the reaction. Let's see Lee here. All right, now Lee has kind of been forced back into his home world. He does have some rudimentary defense. He does have hangar defenses online, which are pretty good for the Advent. But his fleet supply here is not looking that great. Yeah, Ace has got 500 supply here. Ace might commit to a push here pretty soon. We do see Pronast influence being used up. Yep, we do see continuing to kind of build up that home system. Meanwhile, Ace is also focusing on the Pronast. We see him getting into his level 3 techs. He's building up, developing his level 2 techs as well, and just kind of continuing to build up this fleet supply. And then lastly, let's see where Kiss is at. Kiss, oh, and Kiss has engaged, so we're going to slow things down. Let's take a look at this fight. All right. Now, Kiss does have... Kiss is got a fleet supply disadvantage here against defenses, against a large pirate fleet, and yeah, Kiss is going to have to get out of here. He doesn't have any big weapons to deal with all these ships. It's going to take a lot of damage on the outside with all these Gauss hits. Looks like his capitals are fine for now, but yeah, Kiss is going to have to get out of here. Might have underestimated the fleet supply here a bit. Those pirates did just come off of cooldown, and that was a huge amount of extra supply that just got put into that system in short order. All right, moving back to normal speed. And it looks like Ace might be committing here to a push here shortly. We'll have to see. And there it is. Push has begun. Let's see what our lineup looks like. We've got 540 versus 220 fleet supply. We do have a bit of defenses, but not terribly much. I think Ace has got the edge here. Yeah, I don't think Lee's got anything that's really going to be able to contest these forces. These Hashinko are going to be able to heal for days. And, yeah, they're just going to start steadily clearing out these defenses. There's really nothing that Lee's going to be able to do about this. So, this could be a very big key push against Lee. Ace might be able to take a real victory here. Ace looks like he's just kind of continuing to build up his forces. And, okay, we're seeing a pullback now from Ace. I'm curious to see why. What's the thinking there? Is he just trying to pull back to, okay, he's just pulling back to kind of get away from the defenses, clear some of these other ships out. I'm curious, does he have... Okay, he is getting his advanced repair bots. Very important tech from the TEC. One of the actually strongest techs for TEC at Tier 3. Now, TEC has tons of good techs at Tier 3. It's one of their best tiers for military push, but advanced repair droids is actually one of their best ones. It really increases the power of your Hashinko. And it looks like Ace is going to pull back here. I'm a bit surprised here, actually. I think, I guess Ace is just going to kind of come back here, kind of lick his wounds, but I felt like he's, now I can understand wanting to pull back this coal. Is it possible he saw that these pirates were coming to hit his backside? Or was he just scared of the force he was dealing with? It's hard to tell. But pirates he must deal with now indeed. Okay, now we did see that starbase tech for... We did see the starbase tech for Triple C here, but I have not seen any starbases come online just yet. But it's something he still has in the back pocket. He is researching finally getting his exotic refineries and the Truce Among Rogues. Again, this is another piracy or another primacy tech for pirates that is a very interesting one, so very rarely seen. And what it does is it makes you friendly with the pirates. They ally with you, they will not attack you. So when you're dealing with these grudge matches where pirates invade on some of your battles, what that means is the pirates won't hit you and hit your enemies. So in some of these tight middle ground fights, that actually could be a really big advantage for Triple C. Okay, now Lee has decided to kind of push on this, and I think that is 100% a mistake. Lee got a bit lucky that he was able to repel this force in the first place when it was on his home turf. He is now trying to push this force under the might of TEC defenses and production. There is no way in heck he is going to be able to deal with this force, and he needs to pull back. I can understand getting very antsy, but at the end of the day, you just can't do what you can't do, and you're not going to beat a well fortified TEC stronghold with half the fleet supply. It's just not going to happen. So Now, the question for Ace is Ace going to take the opportunity to kind of siphon some of his forces to the south and start hitting Lee's back door? Or is he going to be comfortable just kind of keeping Ace's main fleet here boxed up and contained? We'll have to see what happens there. Okay, now we do see Triple C is starting to utilize his pillagers, bringing those online. And here is that tech in operation. Normally, this would be no man's land, but with the Truce Among Rogues activated for the TEC player, this is now a nice little safe haven, and he's going to be able to pull off some very sneaky plays here. This is a very cool move by Triple C. I'm very excited to see where this goes. Triple C is also, his pirates, I think, are really starting to pay off for themselves. Just checking. Okay, it looks like he still just has the 2 pirate bases, but we're starting to really see that swell into his fleet supply. Kiss, on the other hand, is kind of tapered off. Although I say that, and it looks like instead of just focusing on mass fleet supply, Kiss is going for quality over quantity. We now have 4 Raptures, and then his other capitals as well. So, a smaller fleet, but a very strong one. That many Raptures can take over a lot of ships quickly. And what Kiss is probably thinking, and this is something for you Advent players to kind of look at. Okay, for those of you who deal with mass pirate play and struggle with it as Advent, one of the common counters for it is mass Rapture, because the key is the Pirate Corsairs. These are very powerful ships, and they do lots of anti-capital damage. What the Rapture can do is it can take these guys over. So between that, and I'm sorry, I'm going to slow this down because we have a fight incoming here. Yeah, I'll get right back to that, but we got to watch this fight. Okay, massive battle here, and the starbase is at 69%. All right, here we go. Will Triple C be able to hold out long enough to get the starbase online? He is dealing with currently. All right, Triple C's got 900 supply versus 1,000. Triple C has a really good force here, and he may be able to hold this out. No big capitals, though. All of his capitals are very weak. He's got pretty much he's relying on these pirate corsairs as the backbone of this fleet. That said, Kiss has a lot of nice chutzpah here, but he does not have a lot of direct anti-structure damage. I think the starbase is going to go up. Now, Triple C just needs to kind of pull his capitals back here. I think his rogues are strong enough to hold this out long enough, but he needs to get his capitals out of harm's way. That's the risk point here. That's where he can start losing the tide of this battle. He needs to, pull these capitals back, keep them out of danger. But otherwise, his force should be able to consolidate over this starbase and start doing some help there. Okay, he's pulling us back to the starbase. I don't think I agree with that. I would have tried to pull it out to the Pranast here. I think that would have been a lot better to save it. Now, does he have... Okay, do we have any healing? We don't. We do have one retrofit bay. Okay, so one retrofit bay is doing some healing here, and he's trying to pull this fleet back. Suneaters, I mean, at the end of the day, Suneaters doesn't have a tremendous amount of damage here. He actually has a fair amount of, at least Harka? Yeah, he has a lot of Harka here. I mean, Harkas are great ships, but they don't do a huge amount of big damage. And so, yeah, this starbase is getting a real chance to kind of build up here. Now, what's the counterplay? Okay, we do see Lee breaking out here. He's going to be able to clear out this forward position. But will he be able to do it in time to support his ally? We're going to go back up. We're going to keep it just at 3/4 here so we can kind of watch the action. Okay. Cole here is taking heavy bombardment from Harka. But again, the Harka do decently against capitals, but not amazing. The Cole can soak quite a bit of damage. Meanwhile, this Dunov is dealing with pirate corsairs, and they do very well with capitals. This Dunov is likely going to get sniped out here. Now, this Cole might need to run. It's soaking up pretty well. And the starbase, okay, the starbase has got its first defense upgrade now. It's researching starbase beams. This defense upgrade is going to get a lot of juice here. It's healing. I think the Starbase is going to hold out. I think Triple C is going to be just fine here. If he now he did lose his coal, so no, apologies, that was the Dunov. The Dunov got killed, but it looks like the coal got killed over here. So this action continues to heat up, continues to ramp. Now, Kisses does have a nice backbone fleet here. And okay, we're starting to see some strong damage here. Bit by bit, it looks like the Suneaters are winning this out through attrition. They're not winning this quickly, but they are winning it. Taking a look at fleet supply here. Yeah, we see Triple C has dropped to about 500 versus the 1,500 of his opponents. Triple C is going to have to get out of here. His starbase, now this starbase is crippled up. He has lost his defensive backbone here, and he needs to run. He can no longer hold out this force. And his Mazda just skips away. All the while, we do see, Lee continuing to do work here, but he's not clearing this too quickly. And I'm a little bit worried, actually, that if... and we're going to go back to normal speed here. Yeah, I'm a bit worried that if Lee does not clear that a little faster, this may actually give time for Suneaters to kind of turn around and reestablish control of that base. There it is. Yeah, Triple C is overstaying his welcome. Like this, holding out until that starbase would made perfect sense. But this is a mistake. He has lost his backbone. He is just sitting here, and unfortunately, it looks like by the time he was able to start running, these guys got hit by animosity. The Radiance is holding them in place while they get just slaughtered. Okay. The Suneaters have taken out Triple C's defensive fortification, and now Ace is moving back on Lee. Yep, Lee unfortunately was just moving a bit too slow. Now, Lee does have a very nice crew of Illuminators here, which are good ships. They can do good damage, but 46 Harka. Harka are going to hard counter these Illuminators. These Illuminators are going to have to run. Yep, Lee is just in absolute full retreat. Yeah, these Illuminators need a backbone to help them against the Harka. Ace is completely hard countered Lee's composition right now. Mass Harka is going to beat Mass... normally going to beat Mass Illuminator, and especially when you have a fleet supply advantage here. So, just taking a kind of a quick look on the map. Yeah, we see Suneaters have a nice, comfortable position. We do see some culture kind of building up, at least on Loong side. We actually don't see that for Suneaters, so that might be a little bit of a mistake at this point, but... Alright, the Harka are going after the Rapture. I think this Rapture is dead. There's nowhere for it to go. And while these Harka aren't going to kill it that fast, they're also not going to die either. There's nothing here that's going to kill these ships, and that Rapture is toast. Alright, these Raptors have good Hashinko support. Yeah, all of these... The only thing that's here that even remotely hurts them is these Gauss platforms. And as soon as these Gauss start dropping... these Illuminators do good damage against the Harka, but there's just too few of them. And yeah, I think with that fleet supply advantage, I think Ace is finally going to have a chance to clean up this world. But I tell you what, these pirates are not letting him have it easy. And after all the work that Lee spent trying to clear out these defenses, it might actually be the pirates that wind up finishing the job. Okay, we do see another skirmish here. Kiss has taken this asteroid for his own, has fortified it up, and now does have a cripple Rapture back here. He does have to be very careful about. Meanwhile, Triple C is still relying on principally his Corsairs, but he does not have a great capital backbone here, and there's a good number of defensive platforms here. I think these ships are going to have to pull back. Triple C tried to, reestablish some of his pirates very quickly, make a counter push, hoping to clear the asteroid back out before Kiss was able to fortify it. But he was just a bit too slow, and now he has established a new pirate base down here. So he still has two pirate bases that he's working with. But Kiss has got the momentum. Oh, very interesting. Okay, Ace has just called this out for us. Very cool. Okay, very, very cool play from Lee over here. Lee managed to use one of these worlds that he was able to hold on to, designated as his home system, and used a recall to pull his forces into that so that now he can hit Ace's back pocket. Excellent play. With just a couple of capitals here, he's going to be able to do a good amount of damage, and we'll have to see what Ace decides to respond with. It's possible he may just push further north because they're starting to crush Triple C over here. We're going to move back. We're going to speed it up just a bit here. And actually, I apologize. We're going to slow that back down because we may get a little bit of action here. All right, Triple C is trying to fortify this primordial, but it does not look like he's going to get to it in time. And Kiss is going to kind of clear house there. Okay, we're seeing the two sides kind of dancing around each other as Lee makes kind of a desperate push here into the north, trying to stir up some trouble, trying to get some momentum back on his team's side. And we'll see how that works out. Kiss is near 1,000 fleet supply. With, again, the majority of his forces power into those 5 Rapture vessels. Kiss has also now switched into principally Illuminator play. Ace has actually lost a little bit of his tech, important to know. He does have a second coal added to his Ockens now, and yeah, is really focused on Harka. That is his principal force at this point, which makes sense. I mean, the majority of Lee's forces are still principally embedded in Illuminators, so going with mass Harka to counter them makes some sense. But you have to be careful. If Illuminators get to a high enough number, they can now start sniping out the Harka faster than they can die. We do see tier 3 tech and adding to higher fleet supply here for Lee. So Lee is starting to kind of put his mark back on the board from a spot where his forces were completely cut off. Using some Advent magic here, he has managed to kind of pull a rabbit out of his hat, and we're seeing some great pressure play now from him. Just double checking, he does have Sanctify online. That's important to note. Could come up here in some of these base trade scenarios. Now we do see Kiss kind of steadily pushing down south here. And at this point, what has Triple C got in the back pocket here? Okay, he still has a decent amount of forces, but where are they? Okay, looks like, yeah, he's doing some work over here. He does have a couple of Marses here, and leveling those up could be a way to kind of get some more power, push into the later parts of this game. Also, taking a look, we do see, okay, Triple C has activated the ultimate siege play here. 20 Krosevs have been activated. They're doing the Lord's work here. Okay, and we do see Kiss is sending some pirate corsairs, which I assume, yeah, these are all his stolen vessels from his raptures. Sending them after the siege craft, but Harka aren't particularly quick. And while Krosevs themselves are also pretty slow, this might not be enough. And we're actually seeing here the Center for Human Indoctrination is being put on this world by Triple C. that will give him some speed boosting in these kind of two worlds right here. So allowing his siegecraft to kind of continue doing their dark evil work. So what was looking like kind of a contained buildup by both forces has now ballooned and exploded into back and forth action. We can see that Kiss is now looking to kind of put the death grip on Triple C's homeworld here. Triple C has just now he does have a starbase, so let's see how the starbase is shaping up. He's got the beams. He does have some defenses. He does have quite a few Gauss here, so this homeworld does have some life against only about 700 fleet supply from Kiss. Kiss does have to be careful here. I don't know if he's going to be able to. He can likely take this homeworld out with some precision play, being very careful, but he needs to watch himself. If he's not careful, he might get a big portion of his fleet sniped out in rapid order. Looks like Ace is sending his Harka without any capital support. Looks like they're just kind of sending here to kind of clean house, clean up the orbitals. But he's not going to be able to do any planet damage. And that may come back to bite him here, because we do see Lee continuing his little tri-capital force here, and steadily one at a time just eating up the planets here of the Suneaters. The Suneaters were kind of looking in a pretty commanding position, I'd say, for quite a while. But I would say at this point, Loong has turned the tides. Loong is doing all this econ damage, and at least for now, they're still holding on to their key core worlds. Let's actually look at Lee's homeworld for a second. Yeah, Lee's homeworld is pretty lightly defended. There's not really much it's going to be able to pull off. He does have Sanctify, so that's his one saving grace here. But that could buy him some time. It's not going to do any significant saving. But ultimately, it's probably not going to matter. Ace is Ace is now bringing his capital ships. They're kind of lagging behind, so this homeworld's going to stay safe for a bit longer. And the Purge vessels are starting to look angrily towards the north. Now, what is Ace building up to defend his world? Okay, we do see 16 Gauss platforms, and he has Harkas actively being produced in his homeworld. So yeah, this force is again no joke. These Purger vessels are likely going to have to kind of stop here. And if these guys might want to scout that homeworld, because that is not a thing you want to jump into. Oh, 16 Gauss. If those capitals even get in sniffing range of these Gauss, they are going to get destroyed. All right, let's see. Okay, is Lee paying attention? Okay. All right, Lee is using his DOMs, getting a couple of Harka here to start off, but they're getting sniped the second they get made by the enemy Gauss. Okay. All right, Lee's doing it right. He's taking it slow. He's kind of moving around the Gauss platforms. Now let's see if Ace goes to rotate. Is Ace gonna start rotating his defenses here to kind of engage on these fleets? Come on, Ace. You got just move a little bit here, and you could just start sniping capitals. Come on, Ace. Give us some rotation. Yep, that's a mistake from Ace right there. We need some rotation there. All right. Kiss looks like he's recalled the majority of his forces and has now used them as defense on his homeworld. He has repelled Triple C's siege fleet and has now regrouped to apply some pressure back into his own territory. What is he going to be facing? Triple C's up to nearly 1,200 supply, pushing with Sovas now. Good number of Sovas. Still has his 2 key Marsda and just still working all those pirates. But looks like his forces are still fairly split. He only has about 660 fleet supply up in the top here, whereas Kiss at about 1,200. And yeah, it looks like I think Kiss has brought the entire party up top here. It looks like Kiss is kind of stalled out in his capital production and is focusing principally on his Illuminators to kind of buff up his fleet. But yeah, Kiss. It looks like Kiss has the force to kind of repel this, but I think Triple C is just going to go for the annoyance play. This is where the speed advantage of the TEC starts to really come into play. With human indoctrination, he is, and actually I want to check it real quick. Although, actually, we don't have any culture up here, so never mind. But yeah, that's going to give, between that and the phase jump boost that TEC have, the TEC at this point in the game is notably faster than the Advent. The Advent have a recall, and it's tremendously good, but... all right, Lee is now fully engaging these forces. He has 21 Purge vessels slamming on these forces, and these defenses are 100% out of position. They need to rotate right now. Kiss might buy him some time with a Sanctuary play to try to protect this homeworld, but I wonder if Ace is kind of just giving up his homeworld here because... actually, now that I see that, where is Ace's fleet? He has a... Okay, here we are. It looks like he's got his fleet kind of divvied up in a couple places here. And yeah, Lee is just exploded. Over 1,400 fleet supply here. Yeah, what a comeback from Lee. Like, you've got to give... If this game goes to Team Loong, I've got to give this one to Lee on this one. Like, that play where he recalled his forces in the back pocket, started this siege push through the Suneaters off balance. I mean, that was amazing. It looked like he was absolutely dead. He was contained. He was dying. His fleet was hard countered by Ace's comp, and Lee just kind of came out of nowhere, just made it happen. Okay, we do have a Sanctuary on the world here, but if I'm not mistaken, I think Kiss only has level 1. Yeah, level 1 Sanctuary is not going to hold this off for very long. If you had level, like, and against 21 Purge vessels, you're not going to be able to do too much. This will stall it out maybe a minute, but at the end of the day, the damage has been done, and meanwhile, Loong has been able to hold on to their home systems. This is the crux. Now, Triple C has definitely gotten his back teeth kicked in. He's lost a lot of his back pocket. He's had to rebuild it, but the homeworlds have stayed intact. Meanwhile, we now see that this beautiful Terran world, Pharos, belongs to the Unity. That said, okay, Lee. All right, Lee, I think you're celebrating a little too quick here, sir. I think he has forgotten that these defenses are still firing, and oh my God, he may lose both of these capital ships. I think he's going to lose both of these. Yep, one goes down, and I would suspect this second Rapture is going to take hits. And yep, will this third one go down? It shouldn't. It should have enough time to escape. Yeah, I think Lee was expecting all of these forces to turn off when he took over the world, but I don't think he was prepared for that. So Lee is victorious in the north, but does take a little revenge hit, more than he needed to. But at the end of the day, let's see, Kiss still has about 1,200 supply or so. His fleet is going to be the dominant one in this north position. So Kiss is going to be able to kind of beat off any fleet up top here. But at the end of the day, and yeah, we can see it. Triple C is like, yeah, the damage has been done up here. We've done our job. We've basically killed your partner. Yeah, Ace is now stuck to just a couple of worlds. So Triple C is like, all right, let's just pull back. I'm going to continue to siege kind of in the middle here, kind of clear some planets, take out whatever is left. But I don't have to fight you, Kiss, and I'm just happy to kind of pull back and do what I want to do. We are at tier 3 civil tech. We do have some. He does have the big culture boosting tech, but no culture. So that's a bit of a loss at this point. All right, now Triple C maybe biting off more you can chew here. Yeah, this large group of Harka, yeah, he is going to have to run from these. And he does not have armor. He does not have armor repair. This Sova might die. It's going to be close. Harka do pretty good damage in these numbers. They need to focus though. They need to be focusing. They're not focusing. Even with focus, they probably wouldn't have beat it, but they are chasing the Sova, and yeah, they should be able to snipe this out. And Harka, please, yes, please follow this. Okay, I was gonna say, can't let that one get away. All right, so Ace is getting a bit of revenge damage here. But I think at the end of the day, this Aachen is still... We do have an Aachen in operation. We do still have some trade online. He can even have one more if he wants to here. And, you know, this homeworld is looking real cozy. I think Triple C, he might get a lot of his core planets beat to heck. But his linchpin, his core jewel of his empire is completely safe, at least for the short term. All right, and we do see another potential skirmish here. Lee's bringing 64 Illuminators against, looks like a smattering of Capitals and a bunch of Harka. Now, the Illuminators might take an opportunity here to potentially snipe a Capital. I would not want to engage against this many Harka, not with that many Hoshinko. Okay, but now with their Capitals in play, maybe they make a play for this. Okay, so the Illuminators are going to kind of clean up. They're just going to kind of work their way through this fleet, clean up a little bit here. Illuminators in this kind of damage, they have good range. Yeah. And this is like, so this is the crux, right? These Harkas are wasting their time on the Tempest, and the Illuminators are just going to start ripping into them. Now, the Illuminators do a lot less damage from this range because they don't have all of their beams focused. At the same time, Harka are doing no damage to them, so... That was a nice little engagement, but as the Harkas start to getting close, I think the Illuminators are going to want to pull back here. Maybe I'm wrong, though. That is 52 Illuminators versus 40 Harka. And, yeah, at the end of the day, I would say normally I would caution Lee against taking this kind of fight, but in reality is Ace has no income. His income has been completely depleted, so if they trade out these fleets, Lee is the winner. Lee is perfectly fine losing this fleet if it means trading out a bunch of these Harka. But that said, I think these Illuminators... Okay, these Illuminators, it looks like they're starting to focus fire on the poles. I think they've been indecisive here. They've been targeting the Harka, but they're not focusing on them. They're now targeting... Okay, they are now targeting the Capitals. This Koldo is tanky. It does have Finest Hour online. It is taking damage real fast. Ah, there it is. Nice play by Ace. Rings in the Aachen. Is able to hold this battle off, and ultimately Lee lost a decent number of his Illuminators, while Ace preserved a good portion of his Harka. But again, Lee is pretty comfortable with this. Ace would have to do a tremendous amount of extra damage for this to count as anything. And classic mistake, very common mistake people make in the Aachen. All right. Everybody watching this battle, okay, it is able to escape. That was very close. Yeah. All right, it's Mazda. It's taking a big beating. Is it gonna? Whew. Yeah, people get trigger happy with the Aachen. They're so scared that the armistice is going to drop that they try to rush out their fleet as fast as possible. The problem is, as soon as the Aachen leaves, the protection goes away, and it's a very common sight to see players, send out half their fleet, and the other half starts getting just demolished as soon as the armistice protection goes away. All right, we're going to slow things down. Things are getting pretty spicy, and I want to take a look at the map here. All right, we do see Kiss. making a freedom push here, a reclamation of his team's back pocket over here. Kiss is packing. Kiss has gotten up to a 1,500 supply. Still mostly a lot of capitals, and he's maintaining his Illuminator bastion there. So Triple C's got just kind of a skeleton force. He's actually going to push back into Kiss's territory, throw him back off, and yeah, we see Ace in full retreat here as his ships got pretty beat up by that last force, and he's having to pull back out. All right. So at this point, where do we stand kind of as, as an overall play? Kiss is at 1,500. Ace is at a mere 800. Still primarily into his Harka forces. Triple C is at 1,000. And Lee is at 1,000. So in terms of overall fleet supply, actually, Suneaters are not in the worst position. They are managing to keep up on the fleet supply. However, this could be the crux. Could we finally see a Titan unlock in one of these tournament battles? Lee is moving towards the Erratica. Triple C is finally getting his repair droids online. That is a very late tech for that very critical TEC tech, but better late than never. All right, and this Cole is under heavy fire. He does have level 1 adaptive force fields. This is going to be close. The Sovas here are going to be able to do some pain, but there's not a huge amount of anti-capital damage here. I think this Cole is going to be able to get out. All right, we're going to come down to the wire as... All right, the Cole, yep, is able to escape, but... At this point, it's likely Lee is going to be in full chase mode at this point. There's... His back pocket is now comfortable. They've kind of stabilized the back position, and so there's really no reason not to now push again back up to the north and put some work there. All right, we see another recall from Kiss. So Kiss freed up some of the left planets, did some damage over here, and now that Triple C is starting to threaten his territory, he is going to recall his fleet back into action and bring it up against Triple C. Triple C does still not have a huge fleet supply here, and he does have to be careful. We're going to speed it up just a bit here. Yeah, this supply is not looking too healthy, and 17 Corsairs is nice, but it's not going to threaten the capital snipe against these kind of forces. Yeah, Triple C is going to wisely just going to run away. And again, these tactics by Loong is how you win out in these long siege battles. Once you have the economic momentum like this, at the end of the day, your goal is to keep it. You don't need to engage the enemy fleet until you're ready to engage. Because every moment that ticks down is an advantage to you. Your economy is strong. Your economy is powerful. Your enemies is weak. Your enemies are faltering behind with every second that goes by. And so, at the end of the day here, even though the Suneaters have quite still an impressive fleet supply, unless they can find a way to really engage these middle forces and do some critical damage, I think they're just going to get slowly attritioned out. All right, now this might be a mistake by Ace here. Ace is kind of is trying to fortify this, or trying to take out this world here, but his ships are weakened. He does not have a huge force here, and as the double team comes in, yeah, he's about to lose some forces here. The Illuminators now outmatch the Harka, and they're just going to rip through these remaining forces. At least they would if peace was not on the side of Ace. Ace is able to use his Harka to run, but he's not going to be able to run far. I don't see any reason why Lee would give this chase up at this point. Now, Kiss, okay, great play here. Kiss is going to pull back. He's going to try to double team. Okay, this is the opportunity they were looking for. All right, let's slow it back down. This was an opportunity that the teams were looking for. They do have a world that has at least some defenses. They do have the double team. But it looks like they are going to call the GG. They recognize that this fleet is not beatable. And they're just calling for some fun, seeing if the opponent is willing to have some fun and fight them. But it looks like we do have a formal GG. Yep, the concession has now been put into play. And so with the 2-0 victory, Loong will take it over the Suneaters and continue to improve their standing in the final results of the tournament. So at this point, we're going to see if the teams do decide to have one more fun little battle here, or if we're just going to call it. So we're gonna speed things up here. Let's see if all right. And the fun battle begins as Triple C calls out the Titan is still in the factory, noting that he's just not quite ready yet. He needs his Titan first. But yeah, looks like Loong is just going to kind of enjoy their victory. They're like, this was a long game. I don't know if we really need to play this out. And again, yeah, we will finish the game 2-0 to Team Loong. Congratulations to them. And with that series completed, we're now going to open it up into the finals. So stay tuned for that. I'll be casting some of those games as well as some of my final casters. So you guys will see those on the channel pretty soon. Until that time, thank you very much for watching. I'm Karaslegacy. We'll see you next time.